RFP.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Ready? Would you tell us about yourself?
Hi, my name is Giancarlo Pajuelo. I'm from Peru. I work in Internexa. Internexa have fiber optical fiber in different countries of South America. One of them is Peru. In Peru, we have 5,000 kilometers of optical fibers. Internexa has different equipment that work with this optical fiber. We work with different technologies. One of them is DWDM, SDH, MPLS, and IP. No?
So you have been using Indian products for your transmission backbone network?
Excuse me, could you repeat this?
You have been using Indian products for your transmission backbone network?
Yes, I would like use this new technology. No, I know the principal thing for I stay here is for know more about this equipment. This equipment, I know the technology, no, and how it's work, no.
Are you looking at Tejas products for your products?
Yes, I know some products of Tejas. One of them is the TJ. TJ is in his different products, no.
And when do you plan to buy these products?
I think Internexa have different projects. Yes, I suppose that in the next year, I think invite other product, but it depends of the how I know in this moment, no, this new technology.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Ready?
See that?
So, Indian Telecom, what is the export opportunity?
I think it's a fantastic opportunity because globally about $300 billion worth of telecom equipment and projects are spent every year. Emerging markets out of that is around 40%, which is $120 billion. This is a market which is very similar to India. This is a market where Indian companies actually have an edge compared to others, especially from the West, who are not used to the hard infrastructure as well as the cost competitiveness, and also in terms of other countries where we speak the local language and we have a lot of partnership-based approach. So I think it's a very large opportunity. So if India can get about 10% of that over the next few years, we are essentially talking of creating a $10 billion per year of export potential, which is possible. And I think the Indian industry is really gearing up to get to that level.
Sir, how do you see the Indian ecosystem with respect to telecom exports?
I think so far the story that was known world over was that India is a fantastic market for telecom services. We have created networks of unprecedented scale. We have brought cost of telecom services to the lowest in the world. But what has happened in parallel, especially over the last 5 to 6 years, is that there's an ecosystem which has been created for Indian product companies which have actually understood the demands of this challenging market and created not only cutting edge products, which are very good in terms of reliability and quality, but are also cost competitive. Because to succeed in India, you need all the three things to work together. You need the best quality, you need the latest technology, and you need the lowest cost. So if some company has done business successfully in India, I'm pretty sure that we have created an ecosystem which is healthy, which can definitely grow and export to many countries around the world.
How do you see Indian manufacturers vis-a-vis American, European, or Chinese?
I would say there's one fundamental advantage which has been very well understood in the high-tech industry in India is the software outsourcing advantage. For example, if something can be done for $100 in the US, you could do the same thing for $25 in India. Now, the same technology and people advantage is coming in the form of R&D advantage. So essentially, Indian companies can do 4 times more R&D for the same dollar. So really what Indian ecosystem is creating is the best of the two worlds. So we have the innovation, the competitiveness, the R&D capabilities of any Western world company, and we have the significant cost mindset of a Chinese company. So we, I think, are well positioned to take the best of both worlds and really take this industry forward. This is something which I feel is an advantage which will continue to play out a lot more. If you're really seeing the consolidation which is happening in the Western world telecom companies, it is basically pointing in the direction that it's very hard to do as much R&D as is needed. And long term, I think Indian companies have a very bright future.
What would be the role of the government as well as TEPC, considering the big number of export that we are talking about?
So first of all, telecom is an infrastructure sector. Whenever you're talking of exports, which is where the role of government will come in a larger play, of course, in the domestic market, government has done its bit by announcing favorable Make in India policies, such as preferential market access and so on. In terms of export, government does have a very large role to play, because infrastructure sector is what telecom is. It's driven by local regulation, local laws, and that's really where country to country level relationships have to come into picture. This has been the mantra that Chinese companies have used in the past. There's been $40-50 billion worth of export credit lines which were available to Chinese companies to export projects in telecom. I think similar opportunities exist for Indian companies. There are a lot of countries in the world who have already seen the good and bad part of different foreign companies who have come and sold. I think we can go and exploit all of those and really do something which is much better. So I think government's role is very important. Government sees telecom exports as one of the brightest spot in terms of high-tech exports, where the value addition very high. It is also very strategic in nature, because once you sell a product or a project once, you get to sell a lot more, continuous sales operations. So it's not like a one-time opportunity where you, for example, you do a building or you do a truck. Once that building is over, truck is over, you don't have any role to play. In a telecom network, what you win on day one versus what you can win over the next 10 years is very large. So I think the strategic nature is there. Government is very serious of high-tech exports. It aligns with our strategic nature of our country's interests. And I think government is now convinced, as we saw in the session in the morning, that the Indian ecosystem is healthy, Indian ecosystem is competitive, and they will and have been providing all the support that is needed. So we see very positive endorsement as well as support from both, of course, DOT, Ministry of External Affairs, as well as the Department of Commerce of Government of India. And we expect that going forward, with some success stories coming, this can only increase.
So we are seeing a lot of startups, what we can say, setting up shops in India. But we aren't seeing many products. So being a successful startup ventured into a large company, now you're planning to go global in a big way. What's your message to these startups who want to start, who would want to dream big and want to start small, but are somehow, what we can say, making products for majority of the OEMs?
So I think very good question. So it's a larger question which you asked, which is why don't we really have a lot more product companies out of India? And the startups which are coming, why are they not focusing on the product side of things, or the ones which are focusing, how do they scale? So first of all, building deep technology takes time. So it's not a 100-meter sprint, it's a marathon. But I think we need a few success stories which become more publicly known in India, and I'm sure the industry is maturing, and we will, in the near future, see some more success stories. So I think the talent is always there in India to build the right products. The challenge was the market access. So within the large domestic market that India is, those market access problems, and especially with the government policies, I think are getting solved. What we would now need is, when larger project export happens out of India, there will be a role for the entire ecosystem to play. So you will need a company who is doing software, who is doing integration, who is doing services, who is doing all kind of things. And that's really what I think I see a path for those companies going forward. So one is they have to be a bit patient in terms of long term. Secondly, I think working as a part of ecosystem will help, and that's really where the role of TEPC and government will also come. And thirdly, I think the way the telecom equipment industry has evolved worldwide is, you'll always see that once companies become larger, there are also opportunities for those mothership companies to take a lot more technology. So if you really see how Cisco has played a role in nurturing startups in terms of good technologies and successful stories, I think that recipe may work for India as well. But I see very positive future for this group of people who are really saying that we want to take the next phase of telecom growth, which is data driven, new technology, software oriented, where India has an edge, and really take it forward.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
One more.
I think lights enough.
Here we are talking more about your export products. So, which products are you looking more for the export market, and why do you feel export would be a big opportunity for you?
Okay.
These are the two questions
Sure.
I'm asking. Ready? Sir, how do you look at Tejas products more from export perspective?
So first of all, everything that we do is world class and is for the global markets. We already export our products to more than 60 countries around the world. What we are exporting today is optical transmission products. Where we are specializing today is what I call as the network transformation products, which basically means networks which are originally designed for voice and all need to go for data. And how can you take a product which basically seamlessly takes you over that whole network transformation in the most cost-effective way, in the most non-disruptive way, and in a future-proof way, because the future will be all about data. So I think that's the range of products that we have developed. The technologies that these products encompass include packet transport, which is PTN, DWDM, OTN, which is the new standard, as well as, of course, the legacy SDH. So I think we have products which are integrating all of these four technologies, and just by uploading new software or new features, we are able to essentially convert the same products to handle the entire network transformation that is required from voice to data networks. That is something which we are seeing a lot of push. In addition to that, we have now added access products in our portfolio. So we have fiber access products in the form of GPON, which are basically taking FTTX kind of applications, and that basically again seamlessly integrates. In fact, in our case, the GPON product is just another blade into our existing product, and that's really again really making sure that the customer who is invested in our product once can build transmission network, and then later on can build access network using the same products as well.
We are seeing many countries going for national broadband policy, and a lot of them will or unveil in years to come. So how do you see your company positioning into these broadband policies and also bringing a lot of forex for our country?
So in fact, you are absolutely right. More than 150 countries in the world are in different stages of building their national broadband networks. I think the experience we've had in India, which is probably one of the largest greenfield national broadband projects in the world, is extremely handy. So I think that any country which is planning to do this, from network design, planning, and to actual rollout, starting from the access technologies like fiber access on GPON, to transmission technologies, which is converged packet optical, as we talk about, and WDM, we can do the entire end-to-end network using a common management system, and that's something which we're very excited about. We can basically be a one-stop shop for entire rollout of national broadband network for those countries. The fact that we have done it in harsh conditions in India, and the fact that most countries which are building these national broadband networks don't have a very good infrastructure in their rural areas is an asset that we have compared to other global companies who may not have seen such challenging conditions in terms of their equipments.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
लास्ट वाला खाली संजय सर रहेंगे इसमें, और जो ओपनिंग होगी ना वेलकम जो, तो यू नीड टू टॉक अबाउट तेजस की जर्नी के बारे में, व्हाट तेजस इज अबाउट, एंड अ लिटिल बिट अबाउट हाउ द कंपनी इज प्रोग्रेसिंग, व्हाट आर योर फ्यूचर एस्पिरेशंस। खाली वो स्टैंड अलोन होंगे वो। अच्छा, खाली स्टैंड अलोन। You talk about the Tejas journey.
This is okay, or I need a pen?
Ready?
Okay. Tejas is India's one of the leading innovative R&D driven company, which is focused on making telecom equipment. Our focus area so far has been optical transmission, and what we have done is essentially invested a lot in R&D, developed all the technology in India. We have filed a lot of patents. We have filed more than 250 patents, more than 100 being global. And we really have created for the first time absolutely world-class products based on the latest standards, which are not just suitable for India but for the rest of the world. The approach taken is really converting a hardware problem to a software problem. So we have a concept of what we call software-defined hardware, where the entire new protocols and new things can be done on newer technologies that we have, which gives us time to market from a Tejas development perspective. And from a customer's perspective, he gets a pay as you grow, because he can start with a TDM technology, and as his network evolves to packet, he can evolve to a packet technology. So I think we are providing very good value to the customers in terms of technology, and really using technology and implementation skills to give him a time to market as well as a cost advantage. We are today the largest Indian telecom equipment provider in the optical transmission segment. We have been competing against global networks and doing very well. And we are, of course, exporting to more than 60 countries around the world in all the emerging markets, in addition to being OEMs to some of the larger global equipment companies who are selling our products in all the markets, including US, Japan, and Europe. That's really where we are today, and we are very excited to see the next phase of our growth, which is based on the growth of broadband and data deployments in India, and of course the international opportunity in the form of exports for countries which are building national broadband networks, as well as operators who are transforming their networks from legacy networks to new packet-based networks. Thank you.